Understanding Bible prophecy is not always easy. The Most High, for reasons only known to him, will switch from discussions of the impending judgment of his own people to the punishment of the nations of the earth in just one verse. This seems to leave many confused. I recently watched a Truth Unedited video discussing the concept of the Great Day of the Most High. Much of what he says was correct, but the speaker made some inaccuracies. I'd like to focus on the significant point he said in this video. It's not a crime not to grasp all the intricacies of Bible prophecy. Bible prophecy is not always straightforward. Watching Truth Unedited videos can still be beneficial, especially since he emphasizes the importance of adhering to the commandments. Anyway, let's play his video.
That's Zephaniah chapter 1 verses 2 through 18. And that was specifically about that time in history. And this is exactly what happened when he used Babylon and Nebuchadnezzar to invade the land and take Judah captive. But you see, if you're reading that, and when you read the Day of Yahuwah or the Day of the Lord, and then you immediately want to tie it to end times Bible prophecy, do you see how you could confuse yourself? Now, you can learn and understand from it because Yahuwah does not change, and many of the same things he did to those who sinned against him during those times, he will do again. That's why Yahusha used the picture of Zephaniah's prophecy of the Day of Yahuwah when he spoke about his second coming in Matthew chapter 13. He said, "The Son of Man will send out angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and those who practice lawlessness." That's Matthew chapter 13, verse 41. And that's just like Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 3.
In his reading of Zephaniah chapter 1, he mentions that the first chapter pertains to the punishment of Judah. He's partially correct. The initial 3 verses focus on the end times, while verses 4 to 13 address the punishment specifically to Judah. Moving to verse 14, the focus shifts back on the punishment of the world. It's worth noting that verse 4 states, "I will also stretch out my hand on Judah and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and I will cut off the remnant of Baal from this place, and the names of the Cherubims with the priest." The word also highlights the punishment of someone else. Additionally, verse 6, which states, "I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fishes of the sea, and the stumbling blocks with the wicked, and I will cut off man from off the land," says the Most High. While both humans and animals perished, the birds and the fish in Jerusalem were spared from destruction. The birds and the fish dying is an end-time prophecy. You can read about that in Revelation. This might appear insignificant to some, but understanding the organization of the Bible and how the Most High conveys his messages is important and can help resolve confusion. The Most High transitions from addressing the punishment of his own people to the punishment of the world within a single verse. Without careful attention, this could lead to confusion and misunderstanding of prophecies. So let's read some examples to overcome this challenge. Let's start by reading Micah chapter 1, verse 1. "The word of the Most High that came to Micah the Morasthite in the days of Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, kings of Judah, which he saw concerning Samaria and Jerusalem. Hear, all you people, and hearken, O earth, all that therein is, and let the Most High be witness against you, the Most High from his holy temple. For behold, the Most High cometh forth out of his place, and will come down and tread upon the high places of the earth. And the mountains shall be molten under him, and the valleys shall be cleft as wax before the fire, and as the waters that are poured down a steep place." In verse 1, it says Micah the Morasthite. He is not to be confused with another prophet. "In the days of Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah" highlights the kings that ruled Judah during the time of his prophecy. Samaria was the capital of the northern kingdom of Israel, and Jerusalem was the capital of the southern kingdom of Judah. Micah's prophecies concerned both cities, indicating his message had implications for the entire Israel nation. In verse 2, it says, "Hear, all you people." Micah's message is not just for Israel and Judah, but for all people. The temple in Jerusalem was considered Elohim's dwelling place on earth. Micah is exerting that the authority of Elohim as one who sees and judges all actions. Verse 3 says, "For behold, the Most High cometh forth out of his place, and will come down," depicts Elohim as leaving his usual resting place to execute judgment. The Most High is only leaving his throne once to judge the world and to finish the work. Verse 14 says, "The mountains shall be molten." This image is an apocalyptic vision describing the upheaval at Elohim's coming for the entire earth. Now we go to verse 5. For the transgression of Jacob is all this, and for the sins of the house of Israel. What is the transgression of Jacob? Is it not Samaria? And what are the high places of Judah? Are they not Jerusalem? Therefore I will make Samaria as a heap of the field, as of plantings of a vineyard, and I will pour down the stones thereof into the valley, and I will discover the foundations thereof. Transitioning from verse 4 to verse 5, we shift from the predicted future of the destruction of the earth to the impending downfall of Samaria, the northern kingdom of Israel. This pattern of transition is a common occurrence in the writings of all the prophets. So now let's look at another example of this. Let's read Jeremiah 30 verse 13. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicine. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thy affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. The initial segment of this chapter in Jeremiah addresses the downfall of the people of the Most High. In the very next verse, verse 16, the Most High discusses the retribution awaiting those who caused harm to his people. The restoration of his people is contingent upon the Most High's judgment of the earth. Verse 16, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey, for I will restore health unto thee. I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Most High, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, who no man seeketh after. Thus saith the Most High, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be builded on her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. In one verse, from verse 15 to 16, there is a major transition without any warning. If not paying attention, one could get lost. Early in the chapter, he says, you have no healing medicines. And then we just go right into, therefore all they that devoured thee shall be devoured. The transition is quick. The salvation of the people of the Most High is dependent on the destruction of the nationalities of the earth, including the ruling bloodline on the earth.
Hear me and rejoice. You have had the privilege of being saved by the great Titan. You may think this is suffering. No. It is salvation.
As observed in the Avengers Endgame, which I've mentioned to my friends before, significant films frequently employ imagery from the Bible in their scenes. Surprisingly, movie writers often draw from the Bible for inspiration more than their audiences realize. This particular scene vividly illustrates what salvation could resemble. Now, another example of this is Isaiah chapter 1:21. How is the faithful city become an harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. Thy silver is become dross, thy wine mixed with water. Thy princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Everyone loves gifts and follows after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither does the cause of the widow come unto them. Isaiah chapter 1 is part of a larger critique where the prophet Isaiah condemns the moral and ethical decay in Judah, specifically its leadership. The verse accuses the rulers of being corrupt and associating with thieves. They are the same way today. They are said to love bribes and neglect their duties to provide justice according to the commandments, especially for the orphans and the widows. Nothing has changed. The verse serves as a strong call for correction according to the commandments. But in the very next verse, the Most High talks about the future destruction of his enemies and the restorations of his people. Verse 24, thus saith the Most High of hosts, the Holy One of Israel, I will ease me of my adversaries and avenge me of my enemies, and I will turn my hand upon thee, and purely purge away thy dross, and take away thy tin, and I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors at the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her coverts with righteousness. In Isaiah, he speaks to a future restoration that will happen through a return to the commandments that he himself, the Most High, will do. To sum this up, These are just a few examples. There are many more. When studying prophetic texts, it's crucial to exercise caution and read slowly. The Most High frequently shifts from the downfall of his own people to addressing the fate of the inhabitants of the earth, all within a single verse. One thing to always remember, the severity of the destruction of the people of earth outweighs or will be way more severe than the destruction of his own people. This fact is frightening if you understand the immense suffering that the Most High's people have endured. To understand this completely, the concept of the Great Tribulation or Jacob's trouble pertains to the punishment of the Most High's people. Conversely, the Great Day of the Most High always centers around the retribution facing the people of the earth. It's important to remember, this is a one-time deal. The Great Day of the Lord is a one-time deal. So when we read Zephaniah 1 verse 14, the great day of the Most High is near, and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Most High. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. We can be sure this is about the punishment of the people of the earth. By chapter 3 verse 8, it reads, Therefore wait ye upon me, says the Most High, unto the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with my jealousy. In verse 8, the Most High calls upon his people to wait for the day when he will execute divine judgment against the nation. Elohim plans to gather the nations and pour out his wrath upon them through the great war. The gathering of the nations is all about the world war. This intense action is driven by Elohim's fierce anger and jealousy. It will consume the earth. This verse serves as a dire warning about the impending divine judgment to the people of the earth, but salvation to his people. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.